Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for 2025. We're going to jump right in here. Your first row is going to represent how you are entering into 2025, and you have this Milk and Honey card and this Between Worlds card, which makes perfect sense. I mean, the Between Worlds card literally says you are between worlds, and if you are entering into a new year, it's like you're in between last year and this next year. So, it kind of makes sense to me. But I do like that card because that flamingo is going from black and white to color. So it kind of says that your life is about to get more exciting, and we have the sun, which is amazing. Or your life could be getting more like vibrant, and you could be getting like, just feeling like things are better just in general. The Milk and Honey card is, it can be like a good card and a bad card. But I do feel positive about it. I mean, it's a card of just enjoying life. And clearly based off the cards that we have so far, I think that you could just be enjoying life once we get into the new year, and things could really be going well for you. You have the Chariot, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Again, this is how you are entering into the year. And so with the Chariot would say that you are entering into the year like matching the energy of what you want. He has these stars up here, these moons down here, represents as above, so below. So he has to be in alignment with what he wants, because these two sphinxes, they are guiding the Chariot, and they represent the mysteries of the universe. So as long as he is in perfect alignment with his desires, then he will get what he desires. So I think that you need to make sure that you are in alignment with what you desire, and then you will find success with the Chariot. The Chariot also represents some sort of victory. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can represent your emotions overflowing, feeling really happy. So I think that there could be a lot of happiness or joy coming in for you. With the Sun card, I would kind of allow happiness to be your guide as well, like moving towards things that bring more happiness, joy, peace, that cause your emotions to overflow with the Ace of Cups. I really look at the Ace of Cups as something that you can do endlessly as well. That cup can easily reach down into the water below it, and it can fill itself back up. So this could represent you focusing on doing activities or things in your life that cause you to overflow, and that's exactly what I would do with that card. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare, so I consider the Nine of Swords to be the worst card in the tarot. But, as I always say, tarot is not a prison sentence. So, the Nine of Swords, he's like having a nightmare, he's woken up, he's stuck in a nightmare. But really, the story of this card is that he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. So he's just staying stuck in his situation. And so I think for a lot of you, this is saying, the reading looks good, but, there still might be a situation in your life that is uncomfortable. So, again, usually we experience good things and bad things at the same time anyway. So the two things can be true at once. And, there might be a situation that you have to walk away from. This could be, we go up to the Hangman, to the Five of Swords. And so this is clearly like something that you want to walk away from, like I just said, or it's a change that you're hoping to create in your life. And I would definitely say that this year could be a year where you change an uncomfortable situation. So again, things can go well, and you can still have like some sort of situation in your life, and that's kind of what this looks like to me. With the Chariot, you have the World. Some of you could be moving. I kind of feel like a lot of people could be moving over the next few years, so it just makes sense to me. But I think a lot of you could be exploring more. I also think that people are going to have like a stronger desire to go on adventures, so which I think again is probably true for all 12 signs. Like I think everybody kind of wants to go on an adventure right now, or people could really be feeling like they want to go on adventures. And you could be thinking about it right now. Today is December 7th. So if you're watching this in December before the end of the Mercury retrograde, again, also we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So you could be thinking about going on an adventure. It doesn't mean you're going to go on an adventure, but you could be thinking about an adventure you'd like to go on. And Mercury retrograde is a great time to like plan those things out. You might not necessarily actually travel during the retrograde, but you might be planning it. With the Ace of Cups, damn, you have the Star, love it. To me, the Sun and the Star together is fame and fortune. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become famous, but it's great for getting attention on anything you want. Like if you want attention for love, then it says go out in public and get attention. If you want attention in work, so it says get as much attention on your work as you can, so that you can stand out to your boss and like get a raise or promotion. So it's a great time. And Pluto in Aquarius literally says it's a great time for attention for you, Aquarius. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is about answering the call. So to get out of this situation with the Nine of Swords, I think that you have to leave something behind. Because, again, these people are rising up out of these coffins. The coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. And so they have to step into a new life so that they can, grow or experience something new. And so I think this is literally about leaving something behind so that you can experience something new. And what's popping into my head as well is for some of you, this could be just like a mindset as well, especially with the Lovers coming up at the end. If you want love, this can say that what you have to let go of is your old story in love, like whatever has happened to you so that you can attract something new. Next in the area, what are we doing? The energy of what you're leaving behind. So this whole row is going to represent what you're leaving behind in 2024. You have this new moon. It says beginnings. You also have this moon's reflection. It says accept responsibility. So a lot of you, I actually think that you're not leaving new beginnings behind. I think you're about to have a new beginning, and it's saying that what you're leaving behind is that Judgment card, your old life, and you're stepping into a new life. I do think a lot of you could be learning to accept responsibility. Again, with Pluto and Aquarius, there's definitely going to be a lot of attention on you, Aquarius. So there might be a lot of lessons that you are learning that have to do with accepting responsibility. And again, this isn't like a bad thing. It's a good, it's good for like personal growth or for developing. You have the Sun, the Hangman, and the Seven of Wands. Like I said, tons of attention for you. I definitely don't think this is something you're leaving behind because I think that there is a ton of attention coming in for you, and I would step into the light for sure. I would step into the limelight, really, and try to get as much attention as you can. The Sun is also about like joy and happiness, so I think that you could actually be experiencing more joy and happiness with the Sun. I kind of get the feeling that you could be, it's not that you're leaving something behind. I think that this is saying you are moving towards something because this would be about moving towards the Sun, and so you're leaving behind, wherever you are right now, and I kind of get that feeling with the Sun. You have the Hangman. A lot of people have been getting this energy. I don't know what it is about 2024. 2024 was an 8-year, and usually 8 years are like, we make more progress during 8 years, and I actually think we probably really, all have made a lot of progress in 2024. I just think that we haven't seen it in 2024. So, maybe you did a lot of work on yourself, or maybe you put yourself in hangman mode so that you can gain answers. He is hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom so he can gain enlightenment or answers to his life. And so maybe you did, but it's like now you are getting those answers in 2025 is kind of the feeling I get off of this card. So maybe what you're leaving behind is being in hangman mode and you're finally moving forward. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that you know what you want, then you'll get it. So Seven of Wands says the deeper you believe something, the more likely it is that you're going to accomplish it. And the Seven of Wands can also represent being guarded. So we go up from here to the High Priestess to the Lovers. And so if you have wanted love, but maybe you've been closed off or maybe you've just been healing or whatever, I kind of feel like that Seven of Wands is saying you're opening up now. With the Sun, you have the Devil, but the Sun can shine a light on the Devil for sure. So, you could be leaving behind anything that is toxic or anything that is wasting your time. We're in a time of truth, so we see a ton of truths coming out in the news, the media, although I don't trust the news or the media or the people in the media at all, period. But what I would say here is that we've been seeing a lot of truth coming out. On a personal level, we will also be experiencing a lot of truth, especially between now and like 2033, especially between now, well, I would say especially in 2026 is probably when there will be like this peak of truth because Neptune leaves Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is a total illusion, total fantasy, totally delusional, and then we break that curse like almost right away when we enter into 2026. But still, again, energy is like a spectrum. We will start. This is starting now. So, again, I think a lot of you could be leaving behind things that are toxic. With the Hangman, you have the Eight of Wands. This is movement. So, again, I think you're probably getting off the pole here with that Hangman, and you're making progress, or you're moving forward, or you're doing what you need to do to make progress. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords. A lot of clarity in these readings. Again, the December readings for 2024 had a lot of clarity, and then the 2025 readings have had a ton of clarity. So we could, really be seeing things much more clearly at this time, and this is great for forward progress or, your next actions or what you're supposed to do. In your next row, we are looking at the best energies to work with in 2025. You have this new love card. There you go. It says a new romantic relationship, clearly lovers, is unfolding that will be deeply meaningful for you. So again, some of you could be working on love. If you don't want love, this could also be like something that you will love. So your relationship to your job. It's like maybe you're working on loving your job or loving money or whatever. So take it how it resonates. You have this helping hand card. It says the universe is helping you find something you need that will lead you to your next steps. Didn't we say something about this? Like, I think we said something about you kind of getting the answers you need or something along those lines. So definitely, I think you are being guided at this time. You have the Five of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Cups. The Five of Swords, as far as an energy to work with in 2025, would be about learning when to walk away. And so I think maybe the lessons that you have learned over the past few years have really taught you when it's time to walk away from something that just isn't working. He is walking away the winner, so he has learned when to cut his losses and when not to cut his losses. Like if something is working, he'll stay in the situation, but if something isn't working, he'll leave. And I think that is an energy that you have learned to work with over the years. I also feel that you could be learning risk-taking as well. The Five of Swords, to me, is a card of taking a risk, or it is my card in the tarot of needing to take some sort of risk, and I think you could be taking bigger risks in 2025. And again, we're not talking about crazy risk here. Again, with Pluto and Aquarius, the type of risk we will all be taking is basically saying something and being wrong, right? Because Pluto and Aquarius is attention. So the risk that everyone needs to take is speaking up during Pluto and Aquarius. It's like the risk of getting attention and being wrong is pretty much the risk everybody will be taking. But if you take that risk when you're right, then it will be very good for you. You have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about trusting your intuition. So a lot of you could be working with your intuition more in 2025, and I think that would be a great thing. It's also a card of mysteries as well, and this year it does kind of have this air of mystery going on. And so I think that if anywhere we want to make progress in life, we have to become like detectives, and we really have to dig into the mystery, meaning anything we don't know, we have to learn about it. And if we learn about it and then the important step is that we implement what we learn. If we do that, then we'll probably be more successful, but it's definitely popping up for you. Next is about matching energy. You have the Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups can be fulfillment or wish fulfillment. But as far as an energy to work with, the Nine of Cups says we have to match the energy of what we want, meaning we have to be the thing that we want to be before we can have it. So people always say, how is that possible? I want to be rich and I'm not. How is that possible? I always say, well, adopt the habits of a person who is wealthy, or develop good money habits, work on your money blocks, write affirmations about wealth. Like there's a million things you can do. You can just create the environment around you of wealth without actually having wealth, and you can soak up that energy, and that's what will help you most. Same thing with love. Like take yourself on a date. I always say people who are single act single and that's why they're single, right? So if we want love, we have to not act single, and then we will have a relationship, right? It's like when you think about it, isn't it funny that how people are like, if you've ever been in a relationship, right? You probably get more attention from people when you're in the relationship than when you're out, right? It's like you probably have more people that are interested in you when you're in a relationship than when you're out of the relationship. So again, don't act single, and you'll have a bunch of people who are interested in you. With the Five of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is carrying a heavy burden. But as far as an energy to work with, the Ten of Wands says that we have to make sure that we're only carrying our own burdens and not other people's burdens. And we also have to see things clearly. Again, those wands are in front of his face, so he can't see how close he is to accomplishing his goal. And he has to put some of those wands down to be able to see how close he is. With the High Priestess, you have the Fool. Definitely taking a risk here. I knew the Fool was going to come up. I wish I said it. But that Five of Swords was giving me Fool vibes for sure. That's why I said the whole risk thing. So I think you're taking a leap of faith probably in a new direction here. With the Nine of Cups, you have the King of Wands. Yeah, everyone has had like this type of energy. I think for whatever reason, it could be a year where we really have to be like bold, confident, assertive. We really have to go for things that we want. You know, in some ways, and bear with me here, right? My math is terrible, so just bear with me. 2025, it adds up to 9, right? It's going to be a 9 year. And I think that, nines it's considered a spiritual number. So like, I think a lot of spiritual people are saying that 2025 is going to be very spiritual, which I kind of agree with. But, what I should say is I don't disagree with that idea. But what I would say is I also think that it could be a year to kind of like really cement things into existence. 9, like the Buddhists, for example, consider 9 to be the end. They consider it to be like a completion number. They don't consider 10. They consider 10 to be 1. So they consider 10 to be like a starting over number. But I think that we really have to like cement things into existence, and we have to be bold enough and assertive enough and confident enough to make that happen. So that's what I would do there. Next, in the good stuff, you have this Hold Your Vision card, and this card says it's time to release negativity. Yes, it's coming up in the good stuff. So, and you have the Devil with the Sun. So I think that a lot of you are releasing things that are holding you back, or you are releasing negativity. The Hold Your Vision card, I feel like, is saying, hold your vision, Chariot, Sun, Star. The Star is about having a North Star. It says that if you have that, your guiding light, or that one thing that you set out to accomplish, and if you accomplish it, you'll be successful. You have the Lovers, the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. The Lovers obviously could be love coming in for you. So if you want love, there definitely could be a strong connection here. I kind of get the feelings that this is something that's divinely guided as well. And so even if there are obstacles in the way, that is popping into my head, even though it's coming up in the good stuff, that, there could be some sort of like obstacle here. This could be a person who gets a lot of attention with the Sun and the Star, or maybe you get a lot of attention as well. That could be the obstacle. I still think this is something that could be being guided together. You have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a card of good news or receiving communication. So if you've been waiting for communication, you could be receiving communication. This is also a card of learning, and there was definitely a lot here in this reading about you learning things about the things you don't know. So I think if you could learn as much as possible, you will be very successful. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. So a lot of you could be kind of like looking at the things that you've been working on up until this point. He's looking at these 7 pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Basically, was it worth it for me to put all this work into what I've been growing, or is there something better I could do with my time, effort, and energy? And so I think a lot of you are realizing that with the Ace of Cups, the Star, the Sun, I think you're realizing that there's a better place for your energy and you're just making those changes. With the Lovers, you have the Emperor. There you go. So definitely could be attracting an Emperor and an Empress type person into your life. Definitely could be a divine counterpart. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, really good. This would represent a very positive change in your fortunes. I mean, you have really good cards here. Star, Ace of Cups, World, Chariot, Sun, really good stuff. So I think a lot of you could really be making positive changes here. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is holding on to tightly the past, but the good news here is that we have the Nine of Swords, which is holding on to your situation. Four of Pentacles in the good stuff would say that you are probably being more open, or you are at least opening up to different ways of doing things, or you are releasing a comfort zone, which is going to be good. You have this detachment card. Yeah, I think it would be an amazing time for Aquarius to detach from outcome. So not holding on too tightly to like how things are going to turn out for you will be a good thing. Next, you have this discrimination card. This card says, this is about being able to tell the difference between something that's right and something that's wrong for you. So I think you really need to pay attention with this energy and like what's right and what's wrong for you. You have this exaltation card. Yeah, I think you are. I like this card because it says the universe is blessing you. So I think you could be receiving a lot of blessings this year. It could just be a really good year for you here, Aquarius. You have this riches card. There was definitely something about money here. It's funny that we were talking about getting rich on the Nine of Cups or whatever, but there could be a lot of abundance. This could be any type of abundance that's coming in for you, whatever you want. Could be an abundance of love or money or wealth or ideas. But I think this is going to be very good. It doesn't even want to focus, but I think if you stay focused, you are going to be more likely to accomplish these riches. And finally, oh, you can't make this up. You have this risk card. There's definitely some sort of risk. I think there are multiple risks that you'll be taking. You know, sometimes we take a risk and the risk pays off and then we want to take more risk, right? So I think for some of you, there could be a risk that you're taking and it's probably making you think about your potential with that high priestess. It's like sometimes we take a risk that's like much bigger than we think we're able to accomplish. We accomplish the risk and then we're like, what else can I do, right? And so I kind of get that feeling off of this whole entire reading that if you do take a risk, that it's going to make you wonder, like, what else am I capable of? Which I think is a good question to ask yourself, Aquarius. But this looks really good. Love it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your year.